Hi Aries, welcome to your December 2019 Astrology 33 bonus love reading. Thank you to those of you who've liked, viewed, shared, subscribed, and donated to the channel. I appreciate all of that. And also, for those of you interested in booking a personal reading with me, I actually won't be offering those until around the second week of December. So just keep an eye out. I'll probably make some kind of an announcement on the channel when I am ready to pick them up, but like I said, most likely it'll be somewhere in the second week of December. Alright, as for what we have in front of us, this is what I call the Bridging the Gap spread and the way it works. As the cards on the left side here represent your energy toward the connection with your main love interest. Cards on the right side represent their energy toward the connection. These are the past energies, present energies, future energies. Once we get through those, we'll actually pull some oracle cards to get some additional insight into the situation. That's where the bridging the gap dynamic comes into play. As for the decks being used, on the left side we have the Lover's Path Tarot, on the right side we have the Tarot of Sexual Magic. Alright, so with that out of the way, past energy on your side, we have Prince of Arrows and Nine of Coins. So this is actually Virgo energy, and this is actually a court card for Gemini. So what sticks out to me here more than anything is the fact that we have the name Cupid on this card in particular. So one way this could be coming across is to say that maybe you're just enjoying your own, being single, doing your own thing basically, and maybe in the past you just seemed to develop feelings for this person. Might have come across quite suddenly too, if you think about that Gemini quick energy. So maybe this is someone maybe you started talking to them and you just hit it off really well, right? Maybe you guys were communicating with each other a lot back and forth. And then, you're like, okay, here I was just doing my own thing, right? So that's what I'm saying. It might have seemed to have come a bit out of the blue. Another way this could be playing out too, though, could just be saying that you had interest in this person, but you were trying to take a more lighthearted, flirtatious approach to it because you still did want to maintain your independence, so maybe you're just trying to keep it light at the time. Timeline-wise, this might have been someone that you met between the time of Gemini and Virgo also, but primarily I'm just seeing it as more of an energetic thing, like I said, where either you were just doing your own thing, enjoying being single, and then this attraction to them seemed to come out of the blue, or because you wanted to maintain your independence, you were talking to them, but trying to keep things light and a bit more fun and flirtatious at the time. Past energy on their side, we have the Six of Cups. So on the one hand, this can just be saying that this might have been someone who came back from your past, and maybe that's even where the sudden energy comes from there, right? As far as maybe you were doing your own thing and maybe this person came back around. If that's the case, this definitely could have just happened during the Mercury retrograde energy. Technically, I'm recording this in the middle of November, so Mercury's still retrograde at the time I'm recording this, but for those of you who watch this in December, that could be what this is pointing to, given that this is in the past position. Saying that maybe the retrograde came around, you were doing your own thing, maybe didn't expect to hear anything from them, and then all of a sudden they come back around and you guys start things up again. But with this deck in particular, I get a little bit of a different vibe with the Six of Cups, which is not so much a reconciliation as much as someone's thinking about someone from their past. And if I take that a step further, if we look at the positioning and the spread, she has her back turned to the cards on your side. So what seems a bit more likely for me in this particular case, I would say, is that this is probably someone who wasn't over their ex at the time that you were dealing with them. So that's primarily what I'm picking up on there, because like I said, it looks like she's looking at a painting of the person. So, she might have just been looking at their pictures, and quite frankly, the two energies could even be working together. Maybe it's a combination of the two, which is to say, maybe you guys were talking and things seem to be going well. All of a sudden the retrograde hits and they start thinking about their ex again, right? And that wouldn't surprise me if that's the way it plays out either, because either way, with the past energy on your side, I don't think this was a relationship that got too deep anyway. So, I doubt there was even a commitment between the two of you, so they just might have, maybe their ex came back around, or all of a sudden with the retrograde energies coming back up, they were thinking about their ex. And that's actually a Scorpio energy too, which is where the retrograde has been taking place. So you could be dealing with a Scorpio, or it could just be saying that this is definitely the mindset they were in. Present energy on your side, we have the Two of Staves. So this is actually an Aries card, for one, and I would say, for one, this probably means that you're feeling more back in your power right now. So maybe you're just feeling ready to start some new things. Another way this could be playing out could just be saying that maybe you're ready to initiate contact with this person again if there was some kind of separation. But another way it could play out too could just be, again, maybe you picked up on the fact that they weren't over their ex, right? So maybe you, since you were trying to keep things kind of light anyway, even though the attraction might be there for you with that Cupid energy in the past, this could even just be saying that now in the present you're trying to start somewhere else, because if we look at his positioning, he's now facing away from the cards on this side. So that could be what's going on there. So yeah, either, and then it could be that the two of you are at a distance as well, and maybe you're thinking of traveling to see them. But really, my first instinct is telling me that this is you now trying to say, all right, well, I'm just gonna do my own thing, right? You picked up on their vibe that they weren't over their ex, so maybe you're like, all right, well, I was trying to make an effort, trying to feel things out. And like I said, quite frankly, it doesn't look like you were making too much of a push anyway with that Nine of Pentacles energy. So maybe you just decided, all right, well, I'm just gonna leave things be for now. Present energy on their side, we have the High Priestess. So this is actually a card. Usually I see this as a Pisces energy. So two water energies here. You could definitely be dealing with a water sign, or, you know, maybe it's just energies that they're coming across with. But what I'm seeing here could, again, it looks like she has her back to the cards on this side. So again, could just be saying that they're still really not focusing on you very much, and possibly still focusing on their ex. It does look like the same person if we look at the two cards too. So could just be saying that they're really just focused elsewhere. Maybe for some of you, this is someone who's in school. So maybe that's where the distance dynamic I was picking up on was coming into play, because she has the book in her lap there. And this could also just be saying that maybe, because, especially if they are a water sign, maybe they were picking up on intuitively that energy that you had of the Nine of Pentacles, which was you were still enjoying being single and you were trying to keep things light. So that might have been why they were a little reluctant to move toward you too. You know what I mean? So they might not have taken you seriously. Because sometimes if you're, sometimes intuitive people will really read into those things and take it to the next level, which is to say, oh, I can't trust this person, so maybe that's why they have their back turned, like, oh, I can't trust this person. They don't seem to be serious about me. So it could have been crossed signals in that regard. But yeah, either way, it looks like this person isn't really being very communicative, and they're definitely trying to keep a firm grasp on their feelings too. So even if they do have feelings for you, I don't think they would communicate them at this time. And most likely, if they are very intuitive like that, it's because they want to feel comfortable with the way the other person feels before they express themselves, basically. So that could be what's going on there. Future energy on your side, we have the Nine of Arrows and the Ten of Arrows. So this is Nine of Swords and Ten of Swords energy. Both of these are Gemini energies as well. And what's even more intense about this to me is the fact that on the bottom of the deck, we have the Eight of Arrows. So that's like really, the chances of happening are pretty ridiculous. We have the Eight of Arrows, 9, and the 10. So for one, this could just be saying that you're really trapped in your head with that Nine of Arrows. We are going to be having a full moon in the sign of Gemini around the middle of December, so that could be why all that's coming into play for you guys. Maybe there could be some kind of a shift with the communication between the two of you. But what's interesting to me here is I feel like seeing this angel figure holding that arrow, and it looks like he's trying to hand it to her possibly, right? So this could just be saying that you might get some kind of signs, maybe even in your dreams, to reach out to this person again. But for whatever reason, it looks like you're not really too sure of yourself, and you might not do it. That's what I'm seeing there with the 9 and 10 of arrows. However weird that sounds, but, because I'm looking at this now as, okay, for those of you especially where I said maybe this was a attraction that seemed to come out of the blue, where you were just doing your own thing, enjoying being single, and then all of a sudden you develop this attraction towards someone. We could look at that as the same figure there, right? Which is saying that they could, you could just be receiving signs around you to reach out to the person again. But like I said, it seems like for whatever reason, you're just really stuck in your head about it and actually wouldn't move forward. So, I mean, there's a few ways that could play out. It could be because maybe you feel like you already did make an effort toward them, and maybe their energy toward you was so cold and detached that you really decided, well, I'm just going to do my own thing. So, it could be one of those things where you don't feel comfortable making a second approach, especially if you're not getting any kind of a read from them. So it could just, like I said, could be cross signals going on basically. And, like I said, I'm recording this during the retrograde. Technically, by the time December hits, that retrograde will be over, but, we'll still be feeling the effects of the shadow period until around the end of the first week of December. So that could even be what that's about. But yeah, I would say look at around the time of that Aries full moon for some additional insight into what's going on there. In the meantime, I'll take an hour to get there. We go. Future energy on their side, we have the World card. So this represents completions, usually successful completions. Now, this is an interesting card to come up here for them because it could just be saying that maybe they end up getting back with their ex, because what sticks out to me there is the female figures, since we do have two female figures in the past and present there, is still looking away from the spread. So it could just be saying that maybe they do end up reconnecting with this ex that they still had a thing for. Another way could just be saying that the energy they're bringing in here, maybe there's some kind of a karmic attachment with this whole situation, which, like I said, maybe that's why you're getting these signs to reach back out to the person. So maybe there is some kind of a karmic thing going there in that regard, but this could just be saying that they're still really just on their own thing, and maybe that's what this is about too, which is to say they're totally going through something different right now, so they're not even really focusing on love at all. And maybe this is someone who even with the painting there, it's someone who likes the idea of love more than actually being in a relationship. So it could just be that they're just not really in that mind frame right now to be in a connection, which would be, ironically, it looks like you, like I said, even though you had the attraction in the past, it looks like you were still trying to maintain your independence too. But it seems like you're the one who's a bit more stuck in the situation, quite frankly. So definitely interesting energies there. And then at the bottom of the deck on their side, we have the Knave of Pentacles. So this is actually the equivalent of the Page of Pentacles. So this could just be saying that, maybe they will come and make an offer toward you at some point, but with the Pentacles energy, that's usually considered the slowest moving. So it could just be saying that maybe it'll take a while. And given all the Cups energy here, this could even just be saying that maybe you'll hear from them around the time of Pisces, which actually wouldn't surprise me, as far as I think that's when we're going to have our next retrograde, is during Pisces season. So that could be what this is pointing to there, saying that, especially if this was someone you were reconnecting with during this retrograde, wouldn't make sense. I mean, it would make sense forever if they come back around during the next one. Or for some of you, maybe this could even point to during the time of Capricorn when we have that eclipse in Cancer. Because, we do, even though this is a Pentacles energy, there's a lot of cups in the picture too. So that could be what that's pointing to. But yeah, we'll see what the Oracle cards add to the mix. Like I said, the primary vibe I'm picking up on here is that either you, after showing interest and maybe feeling like they weren't really into it, either decided to start your own thing separately as well, but it looks like at the same time, you didn't necessarily want to, but you just felt like, well, I'm not getting anything from this person, so I could either keep banging them out against the wall, or I could go out and do my own thing. Or for some of you, like I said, there could be some distance, and maybe you're actually going to attempt to travel to see them, and maybe because they're away at school or something like that. But see what the Oracle cards add to the mix. So first, I'll see if we could get any additional messages from the Mystic Moon Oracle deck I have here. And for those of you who haven't seen these videos from me before, what I do is I pre-shuffle them before we start recording. And then what I'm looking for here is a jumper. So first I'm going to be looking for any unspoken messages from you to them, and then from them to you. And if I shuffle for a bit and nothing comes up, I take that as a sign to keep it moving, since it is just a general reading anyway, rather than force it and pull one from the top or something like that. So let's see if we get any unspoken messages from you to them. Here we go, got one. And now we'll see if there's any from them to you. Alright, nothing coming up yet, but I'll give it a few more shuffles. Alright, yeah, nothing coming up there. So, let's see. From you to them, we have I feel damaged, like I just can't do this. So, I mean, I will say that that definitely at least seems to align with the energy we do see in the future. Like I said, very much a trapped in your head energy going on there. Um, but it's interesting. So, I mean, like I said, it doesn't look like there's a huge history between the two of you. So, really, what I feel more than anything here is this could just be one of those unrequited love situations. Because like I said, I'm not getting any clear indicator here that there was any interest shown from them, unless this was someone from your past that came back around. Most likely, again, like I said, during retrograde. Maybe you guys were hitting it off, but then maybe they might have went cold again, right? With the high priestess energy, which is showing maybe a lack of communication. So maybe you're like, okay, well, I don't know what this person's deal is. And then if that's the way it's playing out, this could almost be more of a warning for you, which is to say, look, they're going to come back again during the next retrograde if you don't resolve this, right? So maybe it could be saying that you need to speak up about the situation to get closure, and maybe that's what the world and the future is, which is to say, either you speak up and maybe that's why you're getting signs to reach out to this person, or it's just going to keep recurring over and over every time we have a retrograde come up, which obviously is just going to drive you more nuts probably. So that could be what's going on there. But yeah, that's really the only reason I would see this card coming up for you guys. Like I said, I'm not getting the vibe that there was a big history between the two of you. So hopefully you got some from that. And then lastly, we'll pull a card from the Wisdom of the Oracle deck here. And then we'll wrap up. Same situation. I did pre-shuffle this one before we started recording too. And here I'm just looking for one card, basically. So just one card and we'll wrap up. Almost have one there. Okay. Got one. So let's clean it up. So it's interesting to me. Sorry, let me pick it up. There's clean it up. There's the artwork, and the number is 21. I was going to say what's interesting to me is 21 is also the number on the world card. So really this could be something that works both ways, as far as it could just be that the two of you have to get some kind of closure here. Now, whether that's, like I said, you communicate to this person and you go your separate ways, or it could just be that, again, like I said, maybe they weren't over their ex, and maybe the world in the future could be saying they're over them now. But again, maybe because you were playing it a bit cool. Like I said, this is someone, the energy that I'm picking up on here is this is someone that needs to know for sure that someone's into them before they would reciprocate, So, well, let me just stop assuming. We'll go with what's actually in the book for the card and see what it has to say. But that's what I'm picking up on there, which could just be saying, maybe you just need to communicate to get some kind of closure in this situation. But let's see. All right, it says getting to the core of a situation, freedom from a burden, cleaning house, sweeping away what is no longer needed. The Oracle's message: Ever feel so bogged down with emotional gunk that you can't think straight? Could you be surrounded by physical clutter in your home also? Too much work? Overwhelmed? Time to clean house. Every item out of place natters away at you. Every unresolved resentment, every comparison to others that leads to a sense of lack, takes up energetic space. Every unpaid bill just adds to an unnecessary feeling of being overwhelmed. Now is the time to free yourself by energetically cleaning house. Just do it. Make room for the miracles that are lining up for you. So, yeah, I mean, reading through this too, that's really what I'm picking up on here. It could just be saying that, you really just have to get closure in the situation. And now I'm even feeling more strongly that what that's saying is, if you don't get the closure now, it's probably just going to come up again during the next retrograde anyway. The relationship message says, time to clear the air, take a look at your side of the street, and say what's on your mind. Sweep away the old stuff so that a spring breeze can flow through with new energy. It's the perfect time to do an inventory of your dynamics and see what's yours and what's not yours to clean up the relationship. Everyone brings some baggage. Sort through what you brought with you and let go of what is no longer needed. Become unencumbered, and your relationship will flourish. So, definitely an interesting message there, too. And like I said, as far as the baggage angle that they're talking about, maybe in a way their baggage, like I said in the past, they might not have been over an ex. And then yours was, well, I'm kind of interested, but I also want to keep my independence, so you were kind of on the fence as well. So, could be what's going on there. But hopefully, you guys got something from that. We'll wrap up there. Happy holidays, and I'll see you guys next year. All right, bye.